Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And this video right here is going to be about the seven heavens, the seven seas that was made before the stars. Now, this was an allegory back in the biblical days to try to explain the seven chakras or the seven virtues or the seven seas. Now, these seven seas, the waters above, the waters below. That's an as above, so below context of it. But before we even get lost into that, for them to even derive that conclusion, you have to know what they was observing from a starting point and a correspondence. So, there's tracking of water cycles and things of that nature, and we have got to the limit of being able to attract 7 water cycles to compare within us and as above. So for the most part, here's the thing: when we start to talk about different density levels of these water cycles, when they interact with each other, it produces what we call the stars, aka you are a walking star. So when water and high velocity moving rapid paces interact with each other at different density levels, right, you get a mass hurricane, which is a star emitting of a light, and that light condenses and become you. So you are a walking star born at that specific time that event happened. You see what I'm saying? And when these events happen with the 7 seas, each sea interact with each other and emit a light. Now, we perceive it from our perspective as it being one light based upon you not being aware of what you're seeing. And it ain't what you see, is how you see it. But based upon us being observant, where it's different seasons and we're seeing different transitions, aka different positions of this light, we know that's not one light traveling. We know light don't travel, light get emitted. So this is a light that's getting emitted based on the position that the event is happening. And when we start to keep track of that, we start to see different events because we see different positions that this light get emitted and cast a reflection that we call the moon. When we face it 180 degrees as the mathematical representation of that, of why we're experiencing lunar eclipses or full moons, and solar eclipses or new moons, or the zodiac sign being in the same sign of the sun and moon being a conjunction, solar eclipse, new moon, or full moon, lunar eclipse, the sun and the moon being in opposite zodiac signs. That's the mathematical aspect of it. Now look, at a 180 degree angle. So that's always going to be opposite based on 180, 360. Now, this puts you into a concept where you have to understand this, right? Every time we are experiencing a different water cycle interact with the water cycle, aka atmosphere that we are within, then for the most part, it emit a different light. And that different light is at a different position and it carry a different energy. So we're up under a different star. So for the most part, this is what it's talking about when it say that the 7 seas or the 7 heavens was here before the stars from biblical texts. If you didn't understand how to observe the Bible or understand the context of the mind frame that individuals was in 2,000 to 4,000 years ago. So keep that in mind also. So this gets us into the concept of the waters above, waters below, up, down, left, right, stupid stuff, and all this extracurricular stuff where, Uriel told you in the most clearest way that you could teach a 3-year-old. Stars are water, and we're talking about the atmosphere itself. And it's producing a light, which is the second coming, which is always going to be the sun if it's second coming. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, once you understand the allegory and the words that you're using, then you'll be able to see the reality of what's being projected onto you, as far as if it's up to you to allow this witchcraft to get played on you or not. And I love y'all from the bottom of my heart.